Good evening and welcome to the first proper episode of The Company. First of all, if you have your microphone on, can you hear me?
Yes.
Absolutely excellent.
Yeah.
There are we have gone to some production values this time. I mean, yeah, you haven't even seen all of it yet. Oh, they've probably only got one camera. Have they? Whoops. There'll only be two though. Fucking hell. Quite a few people have questioned my technical capabilities over the last few days. A few of those people are going to, whoops, be cut. Cut when we change to a different camera. Hello. As I mentioned earlier in the week, everybody here has gone completely mad. Okay. Welcome to the first part proper of The Company. I'm going to catch you up in case you haven't seen what's happened before. Basically, this is a game where you watch a Twitter feed and occasionally you vote on the next move. The majority vote determines what happens in the stories. It's like choose your own adventure, but just for legal reasons, no, it's not. Someone says, is it a game at this point? No, I suppose it's sort of partly a game, but partly a thing every month where I kind of reveal some of my psyche and don't worry about the rainbow wheel, Michelle. Don't worry about that. And partly a sort of, well, we don't like the work. Yeah, what it is not a cult. It's a very, very normal thing to do on, we're just hearing, nice. Okay, cool. Very quickly, yes, hope for not a cult in the Access Festival has been quite challenging for all of us. And I am currently looking at a camera and a chat box and soon a Twitter feed. And now and again, I look around and Matt's there. So, I mean, fuck me, really. Before we even get started on Alex, and sometimes, as you'll know, you do have to get started on Alex.
You were starting yourself.
No, come on, stop it. Right, look, so basically, if you're new, don't worry. All that's happened so far is you've been headhunted mysteriously by an AI company simply called The Company. You don't know anything about what they do. Also, when I touched myself on the chest there, but then looked at the cat, it wasn't the bit I was expecting to be touching. Very odd watching yourself and also being yourself at the same time. But you have no choice but to be yourself. That is we're all trapped in our life is okay. So you are now, as probably been clear, even if you didn't watch the prologue, you are on your way to a job interview. This episode takes the form of a job interview, and in the course of this interview, you hope to win a job at this mysterious company. That is basically all of the back. Oh yeah, you used to work in cheese. Fine, you're up to date. Tom, I don't think he's on a bus this time, but he has got a bus backdrop, which you can't. Oh yeah, at the end of the last one, you had a cry and a wank at the same time. I may as well actually say extraordinarily, a 200-person vote went exactly 50-50 between those two. Okay, so very quickly, as always, shout out for Tracy tonight, our the chieftain of BSL specialist who is interpreting always. And yeah, there'll be some adult language and adult concepts, but also, conversely, some really juvenile garbage. So it should suit everyone, but not all at the same time. If you're an adult watching with a kid, it's 50-50 whether you both have a great time or both have a dreadful time. Anything else you need to know? No, I don't think so. Oh, someone says, any deep Jesus talk? I can't. I certainly have no plans to talk about theology or Chaucer or football or pop music tonight, and yet here I am, a guy that's going to watch a band even after this. Of course, I never planned, Chris. Does this look like it's planned? All right, good. But here we are, and we're going to start the actual story now. Here we go. The big city. You can't believe you're here. It's overwhelming. The people look like ants. The cars look like toy cars. The weird thing is you're not even high up. You just pass a surprisingly long series of really small people and cars. Okay. Breathe, you say to yourself. Relax. Francine has texted you. Be strong. Be flexible, like the Brabantia bread bin with its roll top. You just love that woman. Francine the machine. Francine the Ravine, as you nicknamed her when she claimed the lives of hundreds of hikers. You'll probably never see her again. Probably. Hello. It was an eventful train journey. You gave up your original train seat to a pregnant woman. You then gave up your next seat to the refreshments man because he looked tired. For about half an hour, you took over while he played Minecraft and drew up divorce papers. You felt pretty good about the whole thing so far because you brought a lucky item with you, as you do to all special occasions. What did you go for in the end, though? Your lucky rabbit's foot? Lucky lock of Justin Timberlake's hair that you ripped out of his scalp at Lollapalooza? Lucky carrot?
Yeah.
Or lucky nut? So this is your first choice. It may or may not prove important later on.
Yes, one knife.
If you're new to this group, there is quite a pronounced knives among the community. Might be a chance to, you might want to think strategically. Perhaps one of these objects strikes you as being more likely to be useful in a job interview than any other, or perhaps not. We'll soon see. I'd be quite surprised if you don't go for the knife, but well, as I say, I will say at this point that it's hard without giving too much away, but your performance in the interview is being marked, and like your collective performance, and how well you do in the interview will determine events later. In fact, the ambition is that most choices will actually matter either in this episode or further down the line. So again, be sort of Matthew says, with a knife and a crawl streak and a rabbit, you could have a rabbit's foot too. Yeah. I think you have to assume that we can't see the results yet. Someone voted yes knife before I'd even finished reading the poll. As I say, knives and the lust for knives was a major feature of this was just called The House. While we vote, welcome everyone. We've done a little bit of this already, but do put in your in the chat box where you are joining us from. I always like to hear that. No, the foot is not still attached to the rabbit. Nat, I should have been more specific. Welcome Camilla in Quebec. Oh, hang on. When this happens, they're really fast. Sorry, Los Angeles, Germany, Dublin, Seattle, Belo Horizonte. I never believe that one. Philippines, don't believe that either. Portsmouth, I do believe that. Bristol, Brisbane, cats in her car. Munich, France, Cumbria, Buckinghamshire. That won't work for a long time then. Sleaford, Heidelberg. I remember Heidelberg. Perth in Scotland. West London, not far from us actually, or are you? Epsom, Sofa in the end. This is brilliant. Castle Douglas. Oh yeah. Kirkcaldy, Eastern Ontario, and on they go. Thank you all for being here. Soon we'll have the results of this poll, although it'd be, as I say, surprising if Knife didn't win. Yeah, sure enough. Now the up-to-date results show, with a minute left, a huge lead for yes Knife. There was some interest in Carrot. There was not much enthusiasm for potentially priceless lock of the hair of pop stroke R&B sensation. Well, R&B is not quite right, but anyway, Justin Timberlake. Almost no one, fewer than 1 in 10 person went for the rabbit's foot. Okay, well, that was just a nice one to get you in. We'll see whether the knife was a right choice or not, although we might not find out for another episode. That's how intricate the plot is. Be aware, you've chosen to take a knife to this job interview to impress your suitability upon a potential future employer. Okay. Yes, if you're Australian, you've made even more of an effort than usual. Sorry it's so late or early. Sorry it's 4 a.m, but you got you know, you have a really nice time a lot of the time. It's sunny. You're just there in your thongs.
Flip-flops.
You aren't as racist as a community as you were 20 years ago, and so on. Don't get me wrong, work to do, but there's work to do for every country. Australia's underrated. Of course it's warm. This is what I mean, Trish, right? I'd get up at 4 a.m. if I was in Australia, and not that big an if. The March episode of this and the April one will be from Australia. And I did do it at 6 a.m. my time last year, because I am a strange customer, really. Yes, 2 a.m. in Malaysia. That's almost worse for Chris. Welcome, Chris. I think this, yes, there you go. We're going to... A lot of votes. There are more people watching this than ever have watched an episode of The House or The Company before, which is great, of course. But also, that means some of them must be new, and pretty soon they'll go again. Not though. You're very welcome. And if it feels like it's not making sense, it also doesn't make sense to the people that are always here. This isn't. So the poll is ending, and on we go. Yes, your beloved knife. There it is, tucked into your garter. It's a while since you wore a garter, but no way would you have gone to the big city without your knife. It's engraved with your initials, Dolly Parton's initials, an artist's impression of Dolly Parton's breasts, Dolly Parton's whereabouts every day for the last 40 years. Brought you so much luck, this knife. You were about to be run over by a bus and then briefly develop wings, never seen before or seen. You inherited that zoo. You got mugged, but the mugger gave you 100 quid in John Lewis vouchers. All of it, the knife gets the credit. Now, can it get you this job? You're hopeful, but also cautious. You approach the company's HQ. It's a brick building, looks like a repurposed factory. The Co logo picked out in black wrought iron letters all the way up one wall. You don't even know what this job is. You just know you were headhunted somehow, and this could be your ticket out of the cheese industry. I did that for dramatic effect. I need to go back on the other camera, otherwise I can't read. You stink of cheese. You had a shower and a bath and a little paddle in the bidet this morning, but you still worry it's seeping out of your pores. And you people chose to work in cheese, by the way, you fucking perverts. You don't want any more dates like that one where that beautiful man looked bang in your eyes and said, "You're perfect, this could be forever," but fuck my boots, I've never known someone smell this much of gorgonzola. Nope. You want to be in tech. Oh, look at that camera now. I see. The tall, bald receptionist asks you to take a seat. They'll be with you soon, he says. Relax, have a seat. You don't need to go to the bathroom. Remarkably, these words have the opposite effect from his kind intentions. Your stomach suddenly feels like Anton Decker in there, and the relationship is less harmonious than it appears on screen. You remember what your aunt said on her deathbed? Always go to the lavatory when you have the chance. Also, never buy own brand ketchup. It was strange how much admin she got done with her final words. You follow a sign that says toilets. It leads, sure enough, to a row of toilet cubicles. Already you're starting to work out what this place is all about. Settle. You relieve yourself. It feels so good that you shout yes and sing most of Living on a Prayer. As you yank the toilet paper like the Incredible Hulk, you can't help noticing that someone has etched a Sudoku into the dispenser, which must have taken ages. And someone else has filled in some of the numbers, but not completely. Fair play. Hang on, we're fine.
Even zooming in, it's tough.
No, don't worry. You'll get a better look at it than that. At least I hope so. But I just enjoy Matt's creativity for a moment. Yeah. Well, you're sure that doesn't mean anything? You stand up. Your hand goes to the door. Oh, Jesus Christ, and there's 12 mates, including the naughty one. The handle has come off in your hand. See, I can't stop mentioning Christ. I hope this gets eventually. I've not always been good, but I have certainly popularised the guy. The handle has come off in your hand. You kick the door. It doesn't help. You punch the door. Nothing happens. Holy St. Augustine, you're stuck in the cubicle. This is a terrible situation. You look again at that Sudoku. Surely it can't be that if you got the missing number. These puzzles just won't go away, will they? Now then.
Use knife.
The knife actually would be quite useful here. It's it's quite blunt, your lucky knife. It's more of a token.
Mhm.
Oh, bloody.
Right. Well,
Done it. And it didn't have that many numbers in when I did it.
you're going to be given a list of options as to what the missing number is. The missing number is the one you see in the box there. This is, it's not easy.
That's not the one that was on the wall. I think we've been had.
How do you know?
Oh,
I zoomed in on the food. I was solving it.
Hang on, you shouldn't take it that seriously. Right. Well, you know how Sudokus work. Each number can only appear once in a row and once in a column. But of course, you have an option. Is the missing number 6, 7, 8, or, as is traditional, you may choose, this is too much for me.
It's not 6.
Oh, it's not 8 because there's an 8 in the box already.
it's not 8.
It's all too much for me.
Quite
This
a
is
lot of.
fun.
No.
Of course, it's fun. My God, we do all this for fun. If this isn't fun, why we will do this on a Saturday night? And cut. Thank you. And cut to 3. Whoa, look at that.
We can't see the cameras now.
Oh, fine. But you can see the different angles, right?
No, not when the screen's up. But
Oh, yeah, fair play. Well, I'm having a great
You can
time.
if you have Mini Mark in the corner.
Oh,
We did ask if we could have Mini Tracy as well, but we don't know if that's possible.
Tracy only comes in one size, whereas I'm flexible. So a massive lead for 7, probably because of a large number of people in the chat saying 7, 7, 7, and pointing out, understandably pointing out that you can see an 8 and a 6 nearby. Will it be right?
There's 2 2s in one of the rows, so it's not even
Yeah,
likely.
it's a funny old Sudoku, this. It's almost as if it doesn't play by all the rules.
I expressly said in my pre-interview that maths makes me cry. I'm out.
Well, exactly. No, and thank you for all of you who did return the pre-interviews, by the way. All of your data has been, sold. Yeah, but I don't know if this is Sudoku's exactly maths, is it? It's more, this is a logic puzzle, really. I'm not saying that there won't be. Oh, my lanyard's the wrong way around.
I ain't got any common sense.
It is almost if the previous person wasn't very good at Sudoku, but you've got to remember they were doing it in strange circumstances. Like, you're not prepared for it on a toilet roll.
But we needed the knife so we can carve in the answer.
Look, and it's unlucky because you do have a knife, but yeah. As I say, it's not very effective as a knife because almost all of it is devoted to Dolly Parton stuff. Ian says, started solving it, but it's definitely not solvable by regular rules. Yes, and that might in itself be a clue. If you think too hard about the actual, yes, you're right, Kamala. If it was American style toilets, you would simply be able to free yourself by, as you say, shimmying out. But there is not being. I don't think we've ever had the word shimmy in this game so far, and this is not where we're going to start. Well, still 2 minutes. This looks like a fait accompli. Is it a coded cry for help, Chris? You can argue all behaviour is. All right. By a huge margin, then 7 is going to win the poll. We'll see whether that's the correct answer or whether you need to think laterally. Blue, you'll need to think laterally. Yes, Gems is onto something. There's 7s in column A and C. There's only 1 space in column B and row B for the 7 to go, which would then block 7 from being the answer too. You're starting to wonder, aren't you, if 6 or 7 or even 8 is the correct answer, because all of them look impossible under the normal rules of Sudoku. Difficult.
The 2 2s in column 5 really throw you.
Look, you never want to see 2 2s in column 5.
No.
Hare says, I think we should have listened to the receptionist and not gone to the toilet. Yes. But you were, those of you who received an email this afternoon were also advised not to listen too hard to anything anyone says. It's difficult. Look, it's difficult. It's not easy working for the company. Dr. Gregor says, calling this a Sudoku was very generous. Calling yourself a doctor is very generous, pal. See that certificate in the chat box? It'd be funny if they now do produce like a diploma. Right, okay. I vote we start climbing. Yeah, unfortunately, because it's not a fully 360-degree game, we can't. There's only limited escape options available to you. Let's see what happens. A couple of people have suggested crying. Hold that thought. You don't get a cry wank in this game because I wasn't comfortable. Now you see, it can't be a 7 because the top left middle one must be a 7, as was pointed out. Nelson Mandela's penis. You could swear that was the right answer. The door remains as solid as a falafel, one of those ones where it's too much for lunch, really. You thump the door, you kick it, you attack it with a sword, surprisingly. Nope, out of luck. You're proper stuck. This really isn't great. You're trapped like Terry Waite, and even rhyming isn't going to cheer you up. If you're not from this country, Terry Waite was a very successful hostage in the 80s. You cry, see? As requested. You cry for a bit, not enough to interfere with your main cry. It's like I know you guys, just a 2-minute. You look at the Sudoku, you think again. This time you try much harder. Okay, well, to give you a fairly heavy steer, neither 6 nor 8 works. And so you might want to consider human impulse admitting that it's too much for you. Yes, this is too much for me. For the first time, is not just an admissible answer, but the only correct answer here. And I think enough of you are going to get that. Well, we've already had 119 votes, and almost all of them are for that. So we're going to just fast track you a little bit here, I think. People are saying stuff like, it's not too much, it's 4. Jane, you need to emotionally part company with this as an actual Sudoku, I think. Kate asks, by this, do you mean the Sudoku is too much for me or the company? Well, no. Well, just because I don't think it really works as a Sudoku, Jane. And mind you, I don't know. I don't really do Sudokus. I often Wordle detains me until tea time. Henning says, I think it does work. Wow, it's been fun. Why am I surprised that in this community, people are more interested in the Sudoku than they ought to be? Today's Wordle was peculiar. I agree with you, Lydia. I did it.
I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
Spoilers.
No spoilers, but it is. I mean, it's an admissible word, but it's an odd one. Yeah. 4 for me. 3 for Louise. Fuck off, Louise. Right. Yes, 3 people in a row have said peculiar is too long for Wordle. I don't mean that was the word. We all know it's 8 letters. And yes, I can do a thing where I automatically count the letters of words, but no one ever wants me to.
Nice.
Honestly, it's an amazing party trick, but it's, I mean, yeah, you don't, it's not worth it. Fiddly 6. Okay, well, but I mean, that's easy. It's only impressive above a dozen letters. All right, come on. It's a useful anti-disestablishmentarian, I would say, is about 25, but that's a mean one.
Someone count.
I think it might be 26. All righty. This is too much for me, you declare loudly. You'll know if you're a regular. I sometimes do acting. It feels good to have said it out loud, at least. This is too much for me, you shout again. Your heart jumps into your mouth. The normal stuff is still in your mouth, tongue, teeth, etc. So it's a bit crowded in there. But it was right to jump. The door is sliding open. A woman is standing in front of you. You're embarrassed you needed rescuing, but you're so relieved you would happily borrow a book token. It's too much for a lot of people, she says. Again, you feel awkward she overheard you. Anyway, good luck in there, and never take the first choice in the poll. What? Nothing, says your saviour, slinking away almost as if she was never there. Nothing, just the wind. You're almost certain it wasn't the wind. You're indoors. Also, the wind tends to just go, woo. It doesn't give very specific advice like that. Too grateful to care. It would have been a huge blow to your job hopes if you'd had to do the whole interview through a toilet door. It was bad enough when you failed the interview for MI5 because you couldn't get down from that horse. Your heart is like a feather, really, really light. You grab a cup of water from the water machine and quickly scoff a hog roast from the hog roast machine. Sit back down, but only for a second. Hello, it's the tall, bald receptionist here, says the tall, bald receptionist. Storytelling. Just so let you know, you can go in now.
But we're not.
One man
listening to
sitting
them,
there.
are we?
That's all. This one man holds your destiny in his hand. Dark hair, blue eyes, Aquarian, scared of thunderstorms, once went to Chile. All this is obvious as a moment. This guy would be a lovely boss, you can't help thinking. He'd buy Krispy Kreme donuts. He'd partner with you in the three-legged race at sports day. You'd fall over in a heap, laugh, go to Cafe Rouge, have 4 kids, divorce but stay friends. No, concentrate. He motions you to sit down. You're so thrown by the whole occasion that for a moment you forget how to sit down. Then you remember it's sort of bum first and hope for the rest to follow. Yes. How was the train, he asks, pleasantly. You don't remember telling them you were coming by train. In fact, you're certain you didn't. It was fine, you say. Seat number? I'm sorry, you weren't expecting this as an opener. You revise the classic interview questions like, are you a good team player? And can you make toast? And when you look at the painting on the screen, you just see a weird face or a piercing expression of the impossibility of being alive and one day being dead. What number seat were you sitting in on the train? Your prospective boss looks a little concerned that you might not be able to answer even this simple a question. Shit, what seat number was it? All right. So. Well, what seat number did you sit in the train? You have.
We were paying attention.
Yeah.
I was paying attention to the chat.
That's the thing. Is that there's a lot. It's difficult to pay attention to everything. At the moment, well, from the early votes have gone in favour of deny going on a train, which is an option. You were in a bus yesterday, Lily, on your final trip to and from the cheese place, but you got a train today, as far as we know. We saw a little bit of the train journey in the credits, in fact. To be honest, is right, and so is ha. Actually, there's almost not a noise you can make in that genre which doesn't fit here. Ha. Yes, Deborah was paying attention to never choose the first option in the poll, but why? Why did that woman say that to you? Interesting, isn't it? Henning, quite a big lead for 48 here. Yes, you were told not to listen to people, Lydia. Quite a lot of the advice that you get, quite a lot of the voices here are sort of contradictory. Now, we made a late change here, and I'm very interested in what happens next. Okay, fine. Yes, you are. No spoilers. Fine. Yes, you're right. Wise woman of the WC, Deborah. Will that woman come into the action again? We just don't know. There's just so much we don't know. It does look as if 48 is definitely going to win, although a quarter of people still are in favour of denying having gone on a train, which is, well, lying. But sometimes in interviews, you do have to lie. By the way, in this little pause, well, it's not really a pause, is it? I'm just looking down the windows, and I'm now looking at 6 of you who I won't tell you who, as usual, but I'm impressed by the business dress. There's a lot of ties on show, a lot of nice shirts. I mean, some people are taking the piss a bit, but a couple of waistcoats even. Very impressive. There may well be, I mean, not dress codes, but dress suggestions for future episodes as well, depending on what happens. So, yes, just be aware it is noted, and we are keeping an eye individually on who has gone the extra mile dress-wise, and that may be reflected in future episodes. We have far more
corporate T-shirts, though.
This is the thing, yeah. It's sort of an irony that you've been asked to dress in business dress, and yet the people at the company appear to dress themselves in quite kind of it's kind of almost try-hardly dressed down, really. But that's the thing. Tech is full of these kind of ironies, I suppose. The poll is ending. It's going to be 58. Several people have asked if they can buy merchandise like this, by the way. And, yeah. Say anything about that for the time being, but there'll be more. There's a lot's going to happen over the next year. I'll say that. I mean, most of it won't be anything to do with this. I just mean like elections and stuff. Some things are going to happen in this game over the next year as well. Back I go down the line. There you are. Okay. Thank you all for being here. Amazing. Right, come on.
Thank you.
Again, thank you. Here we go then. Yes, as I say, the attendance for this has been amazing, but then that's been the case for the whole month of these online shows, really. I was in seat number 48, Coach G, you correctly recall. Yes, indeed. Your inscrutable left-handed interviewer seems pleased with this response. Yes, you booked 42, of course, but then gave that up to a pregnant lady and took the one to the left of your designated table. Why is he talking in so much detail about your journey? And more importantly, how in fuckland can he know all this about you? Again, goes to the fact that you never applied for this job. You were sought out by the company. Why? What is going on? Let's move on to your possible future boss begins, but he's interrupted by a shabby-looking intern wearing a suit which you can tell at a glance cost $49.99 and which was bought by his mum at an outlet in West Yorkshire. You've got a line.
Oh, do you want a coffee?
Well, not quite. You can read it off the fucking screen.
Right, let's see if there are any coffee orders, boss.
Says the lowly figure. Remember, you've got another line coming.
Oh, yeah.
That's all your lines.
This is slick.
Yes, we'll get around in, commands the handsome, unreadable Supremo. So it's a cappuccino, hot chocolate, Americano, 2 lattes, espresso.
Anything for lunch?
Asks the downtrodden but clearly well-paid and fairly treated underling. Oh yes, I'll have a nut roast and a gin and tonic. Also another espresso to wash it down.
That spells chally.
Does it? No. Does it? Well, I suppose this is the interview question everyone dreads, so we'll get it out of the way. What would you say is your biggest weakness? Wow, he went there. What a question. What a big fat cue. You've got weaknesses, of course you have. That's what it is to be human. But what do you dare show this man who could be your passport out of this living cheesatory? Should you be bold and delve into your soul? Tell him about all the fires? Or maybe try a classic interview dodge? So your options here are, maybe I'm just too hardworking, a classic interview answer, no sense of smell, awful self-doubt, or just love arson. Be careful here. No, I don't know what you're going to go for here.
I think you might.
Oh, this is interesting. Anna genuinely has no sense of smell. Hi, Alex. It's not the first time he's grown his role. Actually, Antonia's right. If you didn't have a sense of smell, working in the cheese industry would be marginally more sustainable. Where's Anna, who doesn't have a sense of smell in real life? Is it and Nick as well? 2 people here with no sense of smell. Is it a COVID thing, or have you never had a sense of smell?
No, I haven't had a sense of smell for 30 years.
Good Lord. You hear about this,
She's
but
the first case of COVID.
yeah.
Patient 0.
Yeah, you had COVID 89. Now that's what I call COVID. That's a joke of people of a certain age, isn't it? Probably only doesn't now that's what I call music have any resonance. Anyway, very tight here. Almost no one is going for no hard work, maybe too hard working, which is fine. In a way, there's funny bits for all of these, but I know which is my favourite. Very, very tight between arson, awful self-doubt, and no sense of smell. This is the tightest poll so far. Last time we held a poll this tight, you ended up simultaneously crying and masturbating. So, my son's watched the catch episode. Very, very tight. So, no sense of smell for no Ash. You can't. We're not. Is it enough that I acquired the word cry wank from the last episode? I don't think we're going to revisit it anytime soon. This is tough. Awful self-doubt is in the lead, but very narrowly from arson. No sense of smell is not out of it. Only maybe too hard working, which is the sort of classic cliche interview answer, does look to be out of the running. Fair play. If you said maybe too hard working, you've sort of dodged a bullet. The interviewer was going to say, I'm the same, and you were going to all have to sing Work by Rihanna with me. work. It's awful. It was Rihanna at her laziest. Anyway, don't get me wrong, Rihanna is a major artist, but the sheer volume of work that she's generated means some of it's really bad. You wouldn't catch me just putting loads of work out there and hoping for the best. Anyway, you don't have to sing work, but you might still have to. You definitely will have to do. There is going to be a participation bit coming up. I don't want to spoil it though. Well, this is all participation, isn't it? But you're going to have to do a task beyond just voting shortly. There's no way you can prepare for it though. You'll either be able to do it or not. Actually, anyone can do it, but it's how well you do it. Ooh, I like this. Anyway. As usual, though, whether I like it is only part of the point. Mal asks, sorry to ruin the illusion, but what time does this finish?
That's the philosophical question.
We've done our best with the production values here. On a Netflix show, you don't normally get someone popping up on the screen going, how much more of this is there? Say, Mal, that what's in your favourite is that I am going to watch a 90s indie folk band still this evening. It's very difficult to guess the length of these episodes because of the all of the variables, but I don't think it will go on beyond midnight. I think it's probably I think 7:30 is at the outside for a finish, but probably less than that. I think yes, it is the Delgados. Well done, Laura. Henning says you'll be aware that Germany's game against France at the Handball World Cup starts at 7:30. Of course I'm aware, Henning. Can't be everywhere. As we look at it, there's a tiny lead for awful self-doubt from arson with no sense of smell still in third, but it's close enough that it could change, it could swing. I mean, it could still be arson. Next time we see the votes, it will be the decisive one. I hope you're enjoying this. If you're new to this, thank you for coming. They were not still going, Dr. Greg is their first shows for 18 years, which is partly why I'm excited. And I didn't even know till recently.
Wow.
Here we go. Yeah, I know. When you're my age, a lot of the bands you see have split up and come back together again.
or dead.
Yes, or dead. I mean,
Don't see the dead ones. Or
oh, fucking hell. Incredibly tight, but by less than a full percent, awful self-doubt wins over arson. That's impressive honesty, says your kindly, humane interrogator. Your esteem for him rises another notch. It must be so stressful running a business, and yet he seems to spend so much time thinking about others. But you're reading a lot in, but thank you. The guy is so full of empathy, riddled with empathy. It's absolutely all over the guy, like shower gel. You're starting to think you can smell empathy on him. Fantasy. You've no sense of smell. I'm the same, you know, he says. The brain can be cruel. It conjures these bad, false narratives. Look at me. I take home 30 million a year plus tips. I have a car, a boat, a submarine, family, friends. I've been to France. I've appeared on Hollyoaks. I've got a dairy farm, but it's somehow ethical. I do a podcast, but I don't bring it up that much. All this. You still look in the mirror and think, who am I? I'm a nothing. I didn't even deserve that Golden Globe. You've made it to the cry of this episode. Do you want to have a cry together? You rise as if in a choreographed dance. Your bodies as one, but like not banging. Your possible boss is already weeping. He's got a head start. You fire up your tear ducts and get cracking. 3 or 4 minutes, it's like the women of Troy in there. At last, a classical literature reference after a bit of a dry patch. The Women of Troy is just a play about all the women going, fucking hell, our men have died. And for what? For nothing. For a war of conquest. They don't say fucking hell, but they're definitely thinking it in Greek. When it's over, emotionally literate interviewer nods. Nothing wrong with your capacity to feel. Nothing wrong at all. Well, it's a different skill I need to test you on now, remarks the enigmatic 6-footer. Just 6 foot, but it counts. As you know, mind you, like this character bears a lot of resemblance to me, but you're reading that in. We don't know anything about it. As you know here, we're in the AI business. We use pioneering tech called Butterfly. I don't know if you remember this from the last episode. This is a plot point. I don't know how much experience you have of that. Now, it's a fiddly one, this. The honest answer is you wouldn't know Butterfly if it reached out and bit you in the downstairs area. But you don't think that either the substance or the wording of that reply are likely to be the right move. I've done a bit with it, like everyone you hear. I know I've still got a lot to learn, but I really feel like here at the company, cut the crap, spare me the BS, says your examiner. Immediately, he pulls himself up. I apologise, I have an unusual form of Tourette's, and my only tics are blurting out semi-convincing American business slang on the names of Henry VIII's wives. Anyway, I'd like you to take this very basic coding test. He turns the iPad towards you. In 90 seconds, could you please identify as many films as possible from their emojis here? He suddenly becomes animated, waving his phone in your face with the stopwatch app ready to roll. You have 90 seconds, he repeats. Let's do this, people. Your time starts now. Okay, so this is not a poll. It is a chat box task. How many of these films can you identify? Back to the Future is correct. American Ghost Story, very good. Oh, Christ. 12 Angry Men is correct. Eternal Sons of the Spotless Man is correct. Loads of people have got 12 Angry Men. Back to the Future is very good. We're still missing a few. North by Northwest is correct. Spider-Man is correct. We've already got more than half of them. You have 45 seconds to go. Dead Aubergine is not quite right, nor is Dead Dick. American History X is excellent. Yeah, I didn't get that myself. Nice. This is all Matt's work, obviously. Singing in the Rain is very good. We're still looking for that number 12, I think, as well as I think we're missing a couple. It's a trick that all the Emoji movie. That's funny from Charlie. But no, it is not. Yes, Die Hard is number 12. No, this guy. Am I right? I think I don't know how many of them we've got because it's too difficult. What was number 10?
I'd say all of them. We've got them all.
Yeah? No one's. We've got them all apart from number 10, we reckon. Numbers. Matrix. Absolutely excellent. And that's it. You didn't even use your 90 seconds. You've got all fucking hell. Very good. Well done, everyone. Yes, give yourselves a round of applause. If anyone watched Richard Osman's House of Games, you'd already be used to this sort of thing, says Robin. Yes, watched, or participated in, or convincingly won, whatever. Convincingly. Well, interesting. The unpredictable Bilf turns the iPad back to face him, taps on the screen for a while. You assume he's making notes on your performance, but when he turns it back for you to look at, there's just a list. Whisper, Twix, Crunchy, Snickers, and so on. Sorry, he says, I was just thinking, what are my top 10 chocolate bars? And no, it couldn't wait. Thanks for bearing with me. He seems to go from supreme attentiveness to almost complete indifference, this man. You have no idea whether this is going well or not, whether you will soon be rolling in computer money like Bill Gates, or back in the cheese factory sticking together chunks of Gouda like Will Yates, one of your old colleagues who oddly rhymed with the tech billionaire. I mean, I was writing this so late at night. Your interviewer puffs his cheeks out for a brief moment, resembling a Komodo dragon. All right, I suppose we ought to come to the elephant in the room. That sort of thing. You'll have been expecting me to ask the big one. Here it is. How many pens have you got? Not for the first time. You feel like you don't know your dick from your eyeball, for want of a nicer phrase. Yes, pens, biros, ballpoints. Let's hear it for pens. This baffling individual is on his feet once more, raving like Willy Wonka in the middle of killing all of those kids in order to secure the future of his chocolate business. You might think we're all about computers, but we'd be nothing without nature's computers. Pens. How many of you got? It shouldn't say. Come on, cat got your tongue? This again was outside your preparation. You couldn't have expected it, but it suddenly seems imperative that you grab as many pens as possible. Your cheeselessness could depend on it. Right, this is a group task. This is not a poll. You have 2 minutes. I want to see as many pens on screen as possible. In 2 minutes time.
I've got 19.
Bex already has 19 pens. I don't understand it. Very good.
96.
They can be any pen.
2, 3, 4, 5, 8.
38 of my desk.
Yes.
Can you put it?
Cat's unlucky.
24.
I'm sorry.
24.
24. Where is it? Where are the? What's your name? The 24 pens.
Greg.
Greg.
I've got like 30.
21.
Jesus Christ.
22,
96.
96. Let's see your pens.
96. There you go.
Got my
Oh, Joe's walking, by the way. Hello, Joe. Morning.
8.
I've got a little
Lots of pens.
Gel pens.
Okay, Caroline has 96. I think that's the. I don't. Yes, I know. 8 in a clothes peg. 20 in a pen cup. 20. I only have my bed pen, says Kath mysteriously. Vinny's got 14.
Of them.
35. This is incredible. How many people have got? The number of pens in this room is phenomenal. Milo claims to have fucking 100. 2 people have got 96. 3 people have got 96 pens. What the hell is going on? Nat claims to have 150 felt pens on their desk. Okay.
I have 10 in one.
Oh, it's 106. I don't. All right, okay, we're done with. Thank you.
50.
Can we? Where's Lily? Let's go over to Lily if we can. Several people claim more than 100. I don't understand that. I mean, I guess you could have a pack of, but like, Jesus Christ, the pen.
I've lost the one I was using now.
We've got well over 1,000 here. Just looking for. There's Lily. Lily, did you claim? I can see you. You claim to have 100, more than 100 pens.
Ooh.
Right, no, fair play. Those are pens, all right. Well, the stationary provisions of this group have been even greater than I expected from this. What's the phrase? Phalanx of nerds. I 92 barely even tips the scales. Okay, well, I think Lily. I mean, all of you have done extremely well here. Lily, though, your 100 pen effort will be noted by the company, and you'll receive an email about it in the week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lily. De rien. Your future daddy, sorry, boss, seems really pleased with your efforts. He takes great handfuls of pens and throws them all over the place. They rain down on your heads like W.H. Smith's hailstones. Hot damn, he yells. Anne of Cleves, your confidence is rising. Surely is good news. But next moment, you're back to feeling subordinate. The CEO glances at his thumbnail and points to the door. Would you be able to pick up the coffee and food order? I've had a notification that it's here. Was the notification on his thumb? You definitely saw some text flash up there for a minute. A little dazed, you wander out into the corridor. A delivery woman is there, carrying 2 coffees in each hand, and somehow, surprisingly, 2 more coffees in each hand. A silver tray with a large hazelnut loaf and a gin glass balances on her head. She looks pleased to see you. Can I have the passcode, please? She asks, in perfect English, but in an accent you're able to place as Northwest Bulgarian. Wasn't given one, you begin. Ah, come on, fat nuts. It's far from a compliment, and somewhat unusual for a food delivery person, and very specific to the TV show Ozark, but it isn't said unkindly. It really seems like she's desperate to help you. You know, it's always the same code word. you begin to explain, but wait, is it a good idea to admit that you're not employed here? Shouldn't be a case of faking it till you're making it, dressing for the job you want, but with actions. You strain your brain to think what the code word might be. And your options: challenge, mission, project, titwank.
I know this one.
I know this one.
Now, I mean, well, there's a very convincing train of thought that the answer is challenge, because the coffee order spelt challenge, and fair play, that is exactly the sort of thing we do. We did a similar thing with Michael Stipe in the last series, but I'm amazed that someone shouted out that spells challenge as soon as the coffee order was taken. The point of hiring an actor of Alex's caliber was to distract you from doing stuff like that. But even if you had noticed, I don't know, like, that's somebody that's paying really close. Who was it, by the way, who shouted that?
It was me.
Melanie.
What's her
Melanie.
name? Melanie. Okay.
Melanie of the knife fame. Don't post knives.
Oh, you were the one that did the knife.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with all sorts of things.
I see.
I've got a whole
Yeah, and usually I live with Melanie, but I'm up north this time, and I got it wrong because I never listened to Melanie. So
the guy that's sometimes in Liverpool and sometimes in Bristol.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm up near Liverpool tonight.
Yes, I mean, you couldn't sound more of a Scouser, but you live in Bristol. Good choice. I mean, so Melanie, you yeah, but did your brain just do that as you that's good.
Really annoyingly, it does it all the time, not just on this sort of thing.
Yeah, it's annoying because most of the time when you're reading a book, it's not spelling out subliminal messages to you, and you are definitely going to go mad if you think it is.
No, it's not annoying, Mark. It's not.
Okay. What a good partner. Well, yes, look, I know that a lot of you are neurodivergent, but like the existence of someone like Melanie suggests we're going to have to make the puzzles even more fucking stupid. But it's fine. We'll just go back to Fibonacci and you'll all be sorry.
Well, I was Fibonacci is my favourite number series as well.
Oh, fine. All right, Melanie. Melanie,
we missed Fibonacci Day, by the way.
when was Fibonacci Day?
What? It was literally the day of the prologue.
Shit! What? Oh man. Well,
Wait, what was it? 1, 2, 23? No, it was 1, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I see. As in, it is Fibonacci Day because it goes 1, 1, 2. Right.
Even in the weird American date system.
Ah, yes, of course, the Americans number their dates the other way around. Damn it.
The wrong way around.
Found out about it right after it ended.
Well, it's difficult to say what's the wrong way around, really. Americans just do it differently from us. I mean, I don't know that you can prove either of them is. Yeah, if we'd had if we'd had September the 11th here, it would be. Oh no, we'd still say September the 11th. We wouldn't say 9/11. We'd say, God, I'd not thought of that before.
That's why it was very convenient that when we had the terrorism attack, it was on the 7th of July.
It was 7/7, of course.
Either way.
That's right, yeah. But I don't think that's why they did it on that day. Speaking as a Londoner, I don't think it was designed for user friendliness, really, that whole thing.
No.
Mind you, I'm not really a Londoner. I'm a London resident. I'm a Bristolian. So, big lead for challenge, quite rightly. Melanie, are you one of the respondents to the company's emails?
I've applied.
Okay, fine. You'll also be hearing from the company then before the next episode. Because in Melanie, we have met someone who is equally at home with the Fibonacci sequence and with a weird word thing, which does make you wonder how we're going to outwit her. And I'm going to spend much of the next month thinking about just that.
Mark, if you email me, I can give you some pointers.
Yes, good idea. I want for the company, really, for it to turn lover against lover, brother against sister. What's your name, the person who lives with Melanie normally?
Darren.
Okay, Darren, I'll be in touch with you as well. Melanie's life won't be worth living. No, it's fine. Yes, you weren't born yesterday, Melanie. You were concentrating during the coffee and food order. Impossible to say what struck you as unusual, but maybe it was the nut roast and gin. And you couldn't help noticing that the first letters of each item spelled out the word challenge. The moment you utter the word, the Bulgarian flips the tray off her hand, catches it on her foot for you to pick off, then stacks the coffees on it, which makes you wonder why she didn't just put them on there to start with and carry the tray in her hands. You make your way back into the office and into another surprise. A Scrabble board has been laid out on the boardroom table. There are 2 separate racks facing you, so 14 tiles. The boss thanks you, drinks all the coffees and the gin, and puts a napkin on to begin the nut roast. He indicates the Scrabble board. While I quickly grab a bite here, I wonder if you wouldn't mind just making the longest word you can. You look at the racks, which offer the following letters. V-A-G-I-N-A-S-Z-P-O, well, possum. Minus feels like a no-brainer and will get you 50-point bonus in a real Scrabble game, where, of course, if you use all 7 letters at once. But is this a trap? It's somewhat surprising that the first 7 letters spell out a word like that. Would it be safer to go possum, or is the real task to sidestep both these obvious words and make something different, like saving, which you can make from the letters of vaginas, or is there something better than any of these? So, on this occasion, if you want to vote for other, you must suggest a better word in the chat box. This is an interesting task. Vaginas, possum, saving, or something longer than any of these which you've got out of your 15 letters. Yeah. Quiet now, aren't you? Tim Key was a tournament level Scrabble player, by the way, years ago. He's unplayable. When I first met him, we played Scrabble, and then I found out that he'd been a tournament, like a competitive player. We had to invent our own game, and look what happens after that.
Yeah, I tried to play Scrabble with Mel. It didn't end well. Me.
Yeah. Symposium, angiosperm, paganisms, several for paganisms. You fucking people.
Almost like the old Google.
Spasming. Paganisms is 9, of course. That's the best so far. Vasospasm is 9, but I don't really know. Camilla's just perhaps play vaginas, possum, and argue your way through it. Again, that is what Key would do. Unassuming, someone suggests. Is that?
That's 2 ends. Can't
Yeah,
do it.
almost brilliant, but you need 2 ends.
And 2 U's.
And 2 U's, and so it's
Use
shit,
a,
actually. Look at Mayan says there are 4 9-letter words here: isengomas, paganisms, savagisms, vasospasm. But some of you people are absolutely deranged. You're so clever. What the hell?
No, down conundrums.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm good at this stuff, but some of you people are unwell. Like, we're on a 3-letter score now. No, you're. Someone says angiosperm immediately, which is 10. I know. Why did you say angiosperm? What is it with you? Oh, yes, actually, you're right. You can get programs as Kate. Yes, you can get anagram solvers, but I don't know. I don't think all of these are. Maybe some of them are anagram.
Angiospasms, plural.
Yes, you could go for angiospasms. One of the fundamentals of Scrabble, obviously, use your S's, but use the fuckers wisely. Don't throw an S away. I played Scrabble the other week. Someone threw an S away on a 20-pointer. I couldn't fucking believe it. Obviously, I immediately latched on. I had 70. They were dead in the water. But I have aggressive dyscalculia, and I'm aggressively not dyslexic, and I can't do anagrams. I definitely don't belong here. No one really belongs here, and everyone belongs here, Michelle. Same as the world itself. What was I going to ask? Oh, yeah. Oh, no, don't worry. Yeah, what is angiosperm? It sounds like sort of problemos, right? Chest problemos. Heart problemos. Yeah. I don't see what's wrong with the term heart problemos, really. Blood vessels bursting. Oh, no. Don't like to hear about that sort of stuff. Vaginospasm is a proper word, says Kim. I don't doubt it. I think I'm going to. Well, yeah. No. Can the company involve horrible histories or the lyrics to the song from Nativity? Then I'll really shine. It's not as difficult as you think, Alex. I do have contacts at Horrible Histories. Let's see. Anything can happen. So you've gone for, I think, vaginospasm or angiospasm. In any case, you've gone for a longer word than any of the offered, as I thought you probably would. Very well played, everyone. That felt like it was right in your wheelhouse as a task collectively. But a lot of things are. Now, your hero and possible employer has eaten a whole nut roast in just over 5 minutes. And he now, as you watch, gets 2 baked potatoes out of each desk drawers and eats each of those whole. Fucking A, you hear him murmur. I don't know if people have ever really said that or just in Reservoir Dogs. He turns his attention to the board, and then something happens which is even stranger than everything else that's happened here. The Scrabble board, there's no other way of putting it, turns into a chessboard.
Oh, that's amazing.
The maddest thing you've seen, and you once saw the whole of Westlife being eaten by leopards. Tech entrepreneur and sexpot smiles as if this is a very minor curiosity. You play? Now, I don't know if this next bit will work. No, it will not turn into a cheese board.
Is the rainbow wheel a cheese board?
No, the rainbow wheel is the rainbow wheel remains right. Okay. Can I play? Or are you? You have to say it. Okay, are you doing it? Yeah. Okay. This knight to c3. Yep. Okay. Audience.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. Of course, it's we're playing against a real person. Okay. Okay. I didn't expect this. Didn't plan it properly. Queen to d4.
Are we playing
Not
someone
the
on the
king. Sorry.
interweb?
We're playing a real life person. This is not exactly what we planned, but it's fine. A scaredy cat who has got 800 points at chess. Oh shit, they're nice to me.
Appearance.
Oh, yeah, knight or queen.
We have a white.
Excuse me, your noises aren't exactly filling me with confidence.
Yay, team guest! Yay!
Okay,
Queen to F5.
Queen diagonally backwards.
Queen to what? F5? You want to just tuck it in there? All right, yeah, that works.
Run away.
It's a little
Yeah,
bit.
queen run away.
I suppose so. You don't want to retreat. You want to. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Queen to F5, please, Matt. By the way, well, nah, it's fine.
That's the
This is-
Queen.
That's the king.
That's the king. Sorry.
King.
Just that little friend goes there. Yeah, goes just diagonally up one. Yeah. That is risky, but
Crazy one to B5.
right. So you can see a problem now. The bishop's got the queen pinned, but shit on chess.
To the knight.
Sorry.
Crazy to B5.
Who to B5?
The crazy one next to the king.
The bishop. Well, hang on.
Give the queen out the way.
The queen is in danger.
Queen back.
Can we just go?
Take the bishop.
I was
Queen.
Well, if
That's
you take
your
the bishop,
bishop.
then the queen's gone. This is fucking.
F3.
Chess is really stressful. Hang on.
Queen to F3.
Want him to win?
your queen back too.
Run away.
Queen's gone.
What time
Queen to
are we finishing?
F3.
Run away.
Right, yeah. Back up the queen. Back up the queen. Get her back to F3.
Bring her home.
Oh, now the bishop's going to come out. You watch. No, it's the fucking knight. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
That guy's good at chess, unfortunately. Well, not guy, whoever it is.
Three.
Yeah, you
Okay,
want
move the
yeah.
Cat.
Right.
Take the pawn. Wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, move that white pawn up too.
You
Take
can't. You have to move the king.
Right, no one panic.
We've already panicked.
Oh, just
Panicking
take
a
the
little
other
bit.
knight with the queen.
D3.
This is the bit where I have unfortunate internet and I accidentally go offline. Oh
Oh,
dear.
no.
No.
D3.
Queen D3.
all the way back.
One second. Oh my goodness! It changed into Hungry Hippos. Yeah.
Oh.
That's my level.
Yellow hippo.
Rage quit.
What's happening?
Okay.
Too much for us.
It's too much for me as well. We weren't completely sure what we were going to do with that bit.
Design.
Oh man. Okay, cool.
Rage quit.
We were going to. Well, don't worry. We'll do it next time, I think. Okay. I feel sorry for the person that actually was in a real chess game with us there, but I didn't.
It was a computer. I think you're safe enough.
Oh, you think it was just an AI?
Yeah.
God, what a freaky world.
But we're AI. Was it a butterfly?
No, that wasn't run by. Well, who knows? Who knows anything these days? Huh? It's just what happens in the company.
Tracy.
Right, Alex. Okay, maybe it was against the computer. Fair. Well, I was too belligerent with the Queen, and I was put straight back on the back foot. I blame some of you. On we go. Well, that's almost everything, I think, says the mercurial interviewer. Even though you would have said there's a fair bit that hasn't yet been covered, including even a basic overview of the company, the nature of the role being offered, when the job will begin, how much you might earn, and how you ever came to be approached. And yet, when he says, any questions, your mouth has gone dry. Perhaps that's because you've been here for, you check your watch, 7 hours without a drink. No, I am. When might we hear about? Oh, you'll hear soon, says the interviewer with a smile. Really soon. There's just one more thing. I'd like you to have a little look at this riddle on your way home. You were wondering when the post-interview riddle was coming. This riddle was written by an AI, by the way, and it's fucking terrifying what it can do.
Haiku.
It is a riddle. We asked it for a riddle in the form of a haiku with a specific answer.
An American haiku.
Tiny but precious. Nature's gift. So delicate. Summer's flavour burst. There you go. Have a little think about that.
It spells chupa.
That's why you can't always be doing this, Melanie. The riddle is just for you to sort of think about and remember, I guess. There's no need to worry about it now. We're going to do one more cut. Whoa, bang. Knock yourself out. And hey, thanks for coming all this way. Hope your trip back is a comfortable one. I believe you're in seat G12 this time. Out in the corridor, you glance around in the hope of seeing anyone at work, anything that will give you a clue as to what really goes on here. There's nothing. Perhaps everyone has gone home. Perhaps the whole company works remotely. Or maybe there's something you're still not getting about this whole setup. It's the tall, bald receptionist here, says the tall, bald receptionist. Thanks for coming in, and see you again. I didn't really need to speak in this bit at all. From the station, you get a bus, change onto another bus, back onto the original one. It was a mistake. Finally, you're trudging down the familiar road. Francine has texted you several times. How was it? How was it? Just a load of question marks in the next text. And to finish up, hey, please text me back. My inbox is sitting here as empty as the Mason cold bread maker I have not yet used. Honest answer is you don't know how it was. You feel like you don't know anything. Someone could come up to you now and ask a question as simple as how many miles down is the Earth's core? And you'd barely be able to say, why? 1,802 miles, of course. As you approach your house, your heart gives an anticipatory flicker. There is a strange item on your doorstep. Strange to some people, at least. Recognize it instantly as a crock pot. A slow cooker available at department stores like John Lewis and cropping up in my emails remarkably often these days. Heart is thumping. You remove the lid. A delicious smell of meat and spices wafts towards you unless you're vegetarian. But there's no food in there. Just a handwritten note. Welcome to the company. Please present yourself at Big City Airport for a 7 p.m. flight tomorrow. Bring your passport. And that's all for this episode. We will set a date for the February episode soon. You will have to bring a passport if at all possible. Corresponding with some people over the course of the next few weeks based on your participation and performance tonight, and also some of the things that we've seen in the emails you've been sending.
Not a cult.
Sorry?
Not a cult.
Not a cult. Not a cult. Anagram cult.
Antonia asks, why did the crockpot smell of stew but had no food in? There's been stranger things than that in this episode, I'd say, Antonia. Well, you're right, you can't smell. Yeah, but I'm telling you, so shut up. We switched briefly out of your narrative point of view into an omniscient. Well, it was always an omniscient narrator in a way, yes. We switched out of your... it's fine. Sometimes you can smell a bit. Actually, if you'd chosen to tell the interviewer had no sense of smell, you would have entered into a detailed discussion. It turns out you can smell foxes and a couple of other things. This is the thing you've got to remember. You only ever see a quarter of what we've prepared. Stupid, the whole idea.
What's the wheel for?
Sometimes we reuse ideas, but sometimes the wheel was never at any point. We're in Next Up's offices. It was just here.
Is it a braille wheel?
Sorry.
Is it a braille wheel?
Well, it has like various offers on it, like win a free membership. I think it's been used in a previous Next Up show. There's loads of, you can hardly even see, but Mart McDonald made a poster of the company. There's quite a lot of stuff here actually, which I've hired a guy like Tibor. Yes, thank you for this is not exactly part of Access Festival, but it both is and isn't. Anyway, it certainly is a part of the nearly finished month of online shows we've been putting on. The final one is on Monday night, live from Edinburgh, from Edinburgh's Monkey Barrel, hosted by me and featuring I would say, likely quite festive me and Alex Preston. Featuring me. Hopefully Alex doesn't crop up.
Oh, bless.
Fine, he can MC. Having him headline it. I could do with a break. Maybe I'll let him do it. Anyway, thank you very much. We'll do proper thank yous for supporting the whole thing at the end of that. What the important thing to say is, of course, beyond the Access Festival, beyond all of this month's shenanigans, this will continue for the whole year, and there'll be a February date soon, which you'll see on the Twitter. You'll also be emailed if you've signed up to the email. And so I think we should spin the wheel because there's quite a bit of public demand.
Spin the wheel.
What an atrocious thing.
There we go.
Double your gift! I don't know what these things mean. 6 times! Double your gift again! 12!
Alexa drank all the coffee.
Lose. Okay. It's the wheel of fortune, but we haven't got time for Chaucer or Boethius. Thank you very much for watching. As always, nearly forgot to thank everyone there. Thank you to Next Up themselves for letting us. We've done all sorts in here. Matt, it wasn't actually a guy called Tibor. It is Matt Ryer, my co-creator. There you get Alex Preston, but you're painfully aware of that. Thanks to him as well. Company as ever has been brought to you by Impatient Productions, which is Leanne Coop, Sven Turner, me, Preston, Claire McCluskey, and soon a 6th person. Thank you. What can I say? You got to scale up. We're in business here. We're all fucking billionaires.
Is that what the interview's for? Do we get a job? One of us?
All of you will get the job collectively. Yeah, so we're going to do like this. All our future decisions will be made via Twitter poll. And dedicated, as always, to Corey Shaw. Thank you very much for watching. Corey Riley.
People are asking for how to get on the email list.
How did we do it originally? There's a it doesn't matter. Bye.
Twitter, contact
link at the
us.
company.
There's a link on the Twitter.
If you look on Mark Watson the comedy, you'll find the Twitter, and you can see there. You can email, and you receive occasional emails from the company about your employment. Thank you for watching. You've been absolutely excellent. I'll see some of you on the screen, or in a few cases even in person on Monday night. Thank you for playing and being part of the company, and we look forward to the next adventure. Thank you very much. Good night, or wherever you are.
Enjoy, Jeff.
Bye. Bye.
Don't forget to fill in your timesheets.
Yes.
Give him the wave.